Dwan picks up the aces.
7-2. Pass.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, wow.
Wow.
Oh, this is unreal.
If Tom Dwan plays this tricky, this could get real expensive for Patrick Antonius.
And both players are very deep. Antonius is $371,000 in front of him. Tom Dwan, $250,000 in front of him. And he makes it $47,600. Aces versus kings, Tom Dwan's dream here and Patrick Antonius' nightmare. And look at this.
Oh my gosh.
Patrick Antonius is all in. Tom Dwan calls immediately, and we have a monster $500,000 chip pot. Unbelievable turn of events here. Well, here's the flop. He needs a king. Oh my I can't believe it. It's unbelievable. This is a $500,000 pot. Dwan needs an ace and only an ace. And here's the turn. It's the queen of hearts. Tom Dwan down to one card and only two outs. It's the four of spades.
He's got to be physically feeling like he's going to be sick. Like I always say, some days chicken, some days feathers. Right now, Tom Dwan is choking on those feathers.
Tom Dwan, 45% chance to win this pot. Mooley with 55%. We're going to see a turn. It's the queen. 29,000. He asks how much you have left. And Dwan getting a countdown here. I mean, this is intense. And Dwan's all in.
Yep.
Mooley calls. And Dwan needs a 5 or an ace that's not a heart. He is in terrible shape. To the river, it's a 6 of diamonds, it's a blank. And Tom Dwan loses a $150,000 pot. Sarah Mooley with pocket sevens on the button. How about a little raise?
Oh my goodness. Danger, Will Robertson. Danger.
Let's see how this one's played out now. And here's the flop. Oh, there's a 7.
Oh, Antonius does have a flush draw.
Any spade or any 8 would do it for Antonius. He's a 2-to-1 dog.
21.
He's counted out 21,000 chips.
It's like he's leaning towards a call.
Cool.
The turn is a 10 of diamonds.
Interesting.
Oh, it's very interesting here. Antonius now is open-ended.
I call. Cool.
Patrick Antonius is all in. Mooley calls. Patrick Antonius can catch a 6, a jack, a spade, or a 7, or an 8. To the river. It's the queen of diamonds.
Oh!
Patrick
Just
Antonius
like that.
does not get lucky. Mooley wins a monster pot. Now has over $250,000 in front of him.
Hello and welcome to Central London. This is the Full Tilt Poker.net $1 million cash game. And with the best in the business pitched against each other, it is also fiercely competitive. We'll get you straight to your commentators as the action gets underway once again.
It's the Full Tilt Poker.net $1 million cash game. I'm David Tuckman alongside Robert Williamson III. 5 of the best poker players at the felt. Alan Cunningham, Patrick Antonius, Mike Mattisau, the mouth himself. Oh, he sees an ace.
500.
A rare escapade by Mike Mattisau.
Patrick's going to call, though. He's got Queen 10.
Even worse for Mike Mattisau.
Well, he knows. I mean, that's the thing. I mean, Mattisau plays so infrequently. Patrick can call this. He's got position on him, and Mattisau hates his hand. Out of position with a pretty vulnerable hand, ace 5.
Even if he catches an ace, does he really like it?
Flop is 7, 6, 9.
Yeah, 9, 7, 6 there, a couple of spades.
And a gut shot for both Mattisau and Antonius. This is the problem with playing this hand for Mike Mattisau.
4,500.
Yeah, and it's just check fold. And that's why, and Patrick Antonius can actually call a raise from Mattisau with any 2.
I agree. I agree.
I mean, if you know your opponent, and obviously this is Mike Mattisau we're talking about. He's a great player. I know that. But if you know your opponent is only going to continue when he has a hand, well, I can call with any 2 because he's going to check to me and I can take it away in position.
Absolutely. Especially when you've already got a big lead like Patrick Antonius. You're really not even risking anything but profit.
To get started, one player is made the nominated dealer or button. Then the 2 players to the left post the small and big blinds. These are force bets to get the action started.
the big blind is always double the small. But unlike a tournament, the blinds rarely change. However, they are sometimes increased to spice up the action. We start here with $300 and $600. There's also an ante of $100 per player, which must be paid if they want to play in a hand. Once the blinds and antes are posted, everyone is dealt 2 cards. We have a round of betting. Then 3 cards are placed face up on the table, called the flop. These are the community cards for all the players to use. Then we have another round of betting, after which the 4th card, the turn, is placed in the middle. This is followed by some more betting and the last community card, the river. Then we finish off with a final round of betting. The best 5-card hand takes the money.
Buttons in front of Cyril Mouley, the Frenchman. Plays in the big game at the Bellagio. Got pocket 7s on the button. What do you think of his play so far?
I think he's played actually very good. Some of his big raises seem a little odd, but they seem to have worked for him. Maybe his table image is perfect for this.
But it's funny, he seems like a loose cannon, but it works at this short-handed game, especially with this kind of table dynamic.
7,200 the bet.
And the bet is 7,200. Mike Mattisau not going to call.
Pass. Mike, you're at 4, eh?
Mouley, by the way, now up $181,000. Antonius only up $188,000. It is a race to the trophy.
I think Mouley wants the cash as well. I ain't going to lie to you.
Well, the cash is great, but hey, very prestigious to beat a lineup like this and win the $1 million cash game. We've had 3 seasons so far. Phil Ivey has won 2 of the previous 3 years. Tony G was the other winner. I mean, you talk about the players that have been at this table here. Chris Ferguson, Phil Ivey, Gus Hansen. I mean, to be the winner in a field like that, you can be proud, right?
Bragging rights. That's true.
Okay.
That does mean something in our circle, that's for sure.
Live straddle from Cyril Mouley.
Can't say that I blame him. This table image, the perfect person to have the live straddle.
Remember, not only is it a perfect place to have live straddle, but he has Alan Cunningham and Mike Mattisau behind him. More often than not, they're both going to fold, and he's going to have the button.
That's true.
Well, more often than not, this is one of those nuts, because Mike Mattisau has raised it up on the button. He's got ace-3 offsuit. But more importantly, he has position. And if I'm Mattisau, I'm almost raising every button, especially because I don't have to worry about Patrick Antonius calling me in position.
Yeah, especially when he does have the button. It's the one time he has position over Patrick Antonius. Very good observation.
Oh, Feldman thinking about what to do here. He's got ace-5 suited. Nah, he's not going to play it.
Especially with Mike Mattisau playing so tight.
Now over to Mouley in the straddle. Haven't seen what Mouley has, but I was about to say, I haven't seen what he has, but I can't imagine him folding much. Definitely not going to fold those. How about a re-raise here from Mouley?
You might see a re-raise.
How big a re-raise would you make it if you're Mouley?
I make it about 10,000 more, maybe 12,000 more. Mouley's probably going to make it 20,000 total.
I'll raise. Raise. Need 100 more with that one. Yeah.
Now, Mattisau hasn't played many hands. Is there a chance he gets frustrated?
19 more. 19 more.
I don't think so. There's too many hands that dominate Mike Mattisau. A bigger ace has got him dominated. Middle pairs, he's a substantial
more.
dog as well.
You don't think maybe he can go on tilt?
Yeah.
I mean, he's eligible.
I mean, we are at the fulltiltpoker.net $1 million cash game. Well, look at this. You said it. Mouley, what a big raise. He's re-raised it to $24,000. It's $19,000 back to Mattisau. And Mattisau shows the ace, and he mucks it. Mouley just completely prices him out. And by the way, we have a new first-place winner. There he is, Cyril Mouley, the Frenchman, plays the Bellagio. He is now up nearly $200,000. He has the most profit at this $1 million cash game.
Welcome back to the bright lights of London, where some of the biggest names in poker are trying to make as much profit as possible in order to capture that title. We'll hand you straight back to your commentators, Robert Williamson III and David Tuckman.
Here's a look at the leaderboard here. Cyril Mooley up $190,000. He is in the lead. Patrick Antonius right on his heels, though. He's up $188,000. And really, nobody currently in the game is up. Mike Matusow virtually even. Tom Dwan down $338,000. He's taking a little extended break. He will join us again, though. Alan Cunningham down $153,000. A couple of big winners have left the game already. Chris Ferguson, Gus Hansen, both about $100,000.
Definitely a good night's work. 100 G's.
Yeah, not bad at all. I take it.
Do a 5-mile run.
Okay, Mike Matusow is going to play this hand, and you know what? He's not going to fold to a re-raise. I guarantee you that.
2 10s for Mike Matusow. That seems like 4 miles of road for him. He was liable to get a call from Cyril Mooley here.
Cool.
Frenchman's been playing most of these pots.
Most.
2, 8.
Oh, this could be huge for Mike Matusow.
Check.
Mike Matusow has got the overpair. Cyril Mooley with top pair. And the way these guys have been playing, it wouldn't surprise me at all if all the chips went in. Let's see.
I agree with you, actually. I think Mooley's going to raise right here. I don't think he was checking because he was afraid. I think he was checking to check raise.
I agree with you. Matusow bets 5,000. And Mooley looks like he's going to raise. No, he just calls. No, he does raise. He announced the raise. Sorry about that. And he raises it up.
20,000 more.
All in.
And Matusow's all in. Look at this. Mooley has check raised it up 20,000 more. And Matusow says, I don't think so. Let's stick it in. And he is all in. Matusow started this pot with $102,000.
This might have been the hand that Mike Matusow was dreaming about.
Oh, it's exactly the hand he's dreaming about.
300 more.
It's 74,000 back to Mooley.
I call.
And he calls.
And he calls. Wow.
Mooley
What a pot.
calls this. Matusow way ahead. Mooley needs an 8 or a king.
For 200 G's.
We're talking about 5 outs 2 times. Take a look at the percentages there. Matusow about a 4-1 favorite to win a $205,000 pot. Mooley not afraid to gamble.
No.
I'm not gonna lose.
Don't say enough.
Well, here's a turn. It's the ace.
Ace.
See, I know I have the power of positive thinking. There's a big difference.
Mooley needs a king or an 8.
The old Mike loses. The new Mike knows he wins.
The river. It's a 6. The 6
See?
of diamonds.
See?
Matusow
That's the
survives
power of positive thinking.
and wins a $205,000 pot.
Nice double up by Mike Matusow. Did you hear what Mike said? He said the old Mike would have lost that pot.
4 hours straight.
But the new improved Mike, piece of
We
cake.
need one.
Eric Seidel's just raised it up.
I knew he had aces pre-flop. I was looking to flop something big. We were both playing pretty deep, and I flopped 2 pair.
And that is a great start for Mike Matusow.
I let out, and he raised me, and I put a pretty big re-raise in and got him to commit 90,000 with 1 pair.
Come on.
All in.
And Seidel moves all in.
Cool.
Seidel moves
All
all
in
in.
and a call.
Hold on a second.
This is going to be the biggest pot we have seen so far.
You want me to give you insurance?
They were offering me insurance. I didn't even know what insurance meant, but I would have took it if I could have.
What have you got insurance?
Hang on 1 second. All right, just go. Forget it.
One time.
Let's go. One time.
I even knew it. I kept yelling, I'm gonna lose, I'm gonna lose. 'Cause I was so negative at the time. 'Cause I used to just lose every hand I played in poker.
And the river's a 7. I cannot believe it.
My lucky poker. That's why I want to do something. You guys don't know how bad I run in poker.
It was pretty shattering, $154,000 pot, you know, where I'm like almost 3-1 favorite.
I got Eric Seidel to put in all his money with 1 pair. 75,000 on the flop. I flop top 2. I'm running 7s. I'm trying to get insurance. They go, are you crazy? You're such a huge favorite. And I said, you don't know how bad I run in poker. I want to get insurance on this hand.
That one definitely hurt. That was really bad. That was the worst one I think I've ever took.
You guys just think I play bad.
But Mike,
I'm the unluckiest player in poker.
you-
I told you guys how bad I run in poker. Nobody knows but me. Now we're gonna get a little poker game going.
Mike Mattisau, his roller coaster day continues. He almost seems more relieved than happy to win that one.
Absolutely. I mean, he's cried himself up a hand, but now
Pass.
does kind of seem like more relieved than really happy. I agree. I think Mike enjoys pain.
Definitely enjoys pain. Well, he was up 100,000, then he was even, now he's back up 100,000.
3 more.
And to be expected.
Cool.
Oh, wow.
Well, now Mattisau's got some chips to gamble with. Let's see what happens.
Jack 3, 6.
Well, this is the problem. Now Mattisau, ace-7 out of position. Is he just going to check and fold?
I believe yes. That's the problem playing against Patrick Antonius. He keeps that pressure on you, and he's got position on Mike Mattisau.
7. Pass.
Would you fold Mike an ace?
And he's not helping his cause by showing an ace there. I don't think that helps him at all.
Yeah, I don't think Antonius cares.
Easy money just robbed me.
Ace was good.
I don't care.
He doesn't care.
Action will be on Andrew Feldman,
Do you see
Patrick
that, Russ?
Antonius in the big blind. And by the way,
For your-
Patrick Antonius is our big winner once again.
All right,
He's up 193,000.
I know how to deal with negativity.
And this seesaw battle continues.
Pass. Pass.
Wow, Mooley folds.
You've noticed a little trend since Mooley lost that pot. He was playing 80, 85% of the pots. All of a sudden, we've seen a few folds from him.
Cool.
Maybe the Frenchman's tightened up.
Cool.
You can spit that. Good try.
Got a raise from Cunningham on the button, a call from Mattisau, and a call from Antonius. Both players with Jack 10, Cunningham at the 7-8.
4.
And wow, just like that, Mike Mattisau actually leads at this pot.
Well, I like the play. I mean, we've seen this from Mattisau earlier. Sometimes he'll do this when he flops a monster. He'll bet right into the razor. This time, he has absolutely nothing at all, and he's betting into the razor.
Yeah, even
Cunningham.
worse. Alan Cunningham calls with air.
Well, you know what?
6.
Well, Cunningham has picked up some outs here. He obviously was taking one off just to float, maybe to take it away on the turn, but he's now open-ended.
Yeah, he might actually take a card off now that he has a legitimate draw. But then again, he might just try to fire and take this down right here.
6.
Well, he goes with option 2, and he bets, and he takes it down. You know what? He's going to use his tight image. He knows Mattisau has just won those chips, doesn't want to give him up. Great play by Alan Cunningham.
Alan Cunningham.
He's still having a terrible day,
You got your win. Let me have my win.
but it says a lot about him as a poker player.
Made a big fold.
Down 140,000, still capable of making a big play like that.
Really great. Good things happen.
Button in front of Andrew Feldman. Action on Mike the Mouth. Not going to play. Antonius not going to play.
Pass.
Let's see if Andrew Feldman's going to play this. On the button, 5-handed. Let's see what he has.
Oh, he's got to play this. I mean, come on.
22.
And he does.
Yeah, he's going to raise this up.
2,200, the size of his rifle.
Mooley's going to call it.
Cool.
Alan Cunningham. Alan Cunningham going to play as well, and we've got
A three-way pot.
We've got a little pot brewing, and look at this audience. They are up on their feet. Some excitement brewing here.
4, ace.
Oh, wow, this is a big flop. This is an absolute monster flop. Andrew Feldman has trip aces.
Check.
Mooley's got the nut flush draw. Technically, he's got the king-high flush draw. Cunningham has the straight flush draw.
A straight and a flush draw.
Oh, this is unbelievable. I mean, you couldn't pick a better flop here. I mean, Feldman with trip aces, Mooley with the ace or the king high flush draw. Cunningham, if a 5 of spades were to come off, I mean, it would just be a magical card. Oh, this is sick.
And a flat call from the Frenchman, which I don't blame. I think we'll probably see at least a call here from Alan Cunningham as well. I don't think we'll see anything but a call.
Now, normally with a draw like this, you might push. But if somebody has an ace, you're never going to get him to fold it, right?
That's the problem. That's why you can't push this hand. You can't get an ace to fold. I think all they can do is flat call here.
I mean, you prefer pushing when there's some fold equity, right?
Absolutely. And I don't think he has much fold equity at all.
Cool.
And he is just going to call. He took your advice. And this pot is now $20,700. Let's see the turn. It's a 9. Oh, wow, look at this. And Andrew Feldman has filled up. He has aces and 9s. Mooley cannot win the pot. Cunningham can win it with 1 card and 1 card only, the 5 of spades.
Check.
If Andrew Feldman actually decides to check this or bake a small bet and a spade comes on the river, we could see some real fireworks here.
Well, I mean, in my opinion, and like I said, you're the expert, I think Feldman wants to bet it. You just don't want to price your opponents out.
Yeah, maybe bet a half pot bet, 10,000.
I mean, that's not going to get rid of the flush draws anyway.
No, I think exactly half the pot is what I'd bet, 10,000 roughly.
And if a spade comes, then, of course, overbet it, get that flush to pay you off, huh?
If they don't lead at it. They might lead at it.
Yeah, well said. Well, action on Feldman. And he's thinking of what to do here. And he's going to bet. How much is the question? Andrew Feldman with the absolute nuts.
Well, if he thinks that the other ace is out there, which it seems probable right here, he's going to try to value bet.
14.5.
Oh, just a little too much.
He bets about 70%.
Pass.
Yeah.
Oh, and he gets rid of 1 flush draw.
Yeah, don't like that size bet. Should have bet about half the pot. He's got the nuts.
Are you thinking more like 9,500, 10,000?
10,000. That would have been the perfect bet. He might get 2 callers versus 1 or none right now. Alan Cunningham trying to decide if his flush draw is any good at this point.
Well, that's the part of it. It's first of all, you got to decide, okay, is my flush draw good? And is my 5 good? I mean, if my opponent does have an ace, he could have a full house ready.
Well, on top of that, Alan Cunningham only has a little over 50-something thousand at the beginning of this hand. Does he have enough in front of him to get paid off on the river?
Well, it becomes a mathematical problem, right?
Absolutely.
Well,
I think he's just got enough, unfortunately, for Alan Cunningham. I think he has just enough in front of him.
You're the PLO expert, so you've got to know the math here.
I think he has just enough in front of him to make this call.
I'll go all in.
Cool.
You have full house?
Oh, wow.
Alan Cunningham ain't going to like it when he sees he's drawing dead to 1 card in the deck.
Alan Cunningham all in. Andrew Feldman calls. And Andrew Feldman has to fade 1 card and 1 card only.
Alan Cunningham been out of step all day.
Well, he's got an out. The 5 of spades, that's the only out.
You really have outs?
We have outs, turn it up.
Well, it's not a tournament.
And here's the river.
We can ask to see any call down.
Oh, it's the 10 of clubs.
No.
Not going to do it, Alan Cunningham. He started this pot with $56,400.
I'm not going to ask.
And it's all in front of Andrew Feldman right now.
I don't want to see it. I don't want to see it.
And Alan Cunningham didn't even want to show that. Traditionally, you have to show that hand in there, but I guess with drawing dead to 1 out, he didn't feel like showing.
Did you have an out?
Now, obviously, in tournament play, you do turn your cards up, face up. Cash game play, you don't necessarily have to show your cards. And Alan Cunningham said, "I've got 1 out."
The 10 missed him by one notch.
Never has an ace.
Wow, and Alan Cunningham now down $200,000.
That's going to sting a bit.
I'll play for.
I'm betting 5,000 he had an ace.
I'll bet with you he had a straight flush draw.
Let's bet. What do you want to bet that he had an ace?
And Andrew Feldman, remember earlier on in this $1 million cash game, he was down $100,000. He was our big loser for a while. He's grinded his way back. Hasn't played many hands, but he's grinded his way back. He's now up $23,200. Well done for the former paper boy to win $23,000.
I think he had a straight flush.
Welcome back to the FullTiltPoker.net $1 million cash game. It has been red hot at the table so far, and we'll get straight back to your commentators.
You just did to Alan what the guy did to me last year.
Mattisau and Feldman debating over what Alan Cunningham had. Feldman thinks he had a straight flush draw. Mattisau thinks that Cunningham had the bigger ace. And you and I both know the truth.
Well,
so does Cunningham, of course.
If Alan Cunningham said he had one out, he couldn't have had a big ace unless he was telling a lie. But in poker, it's not lying, it's bluffing. That's what I love about poker. We never lie.
Well, Alan Cunningham, I thought maybe we would have lost him from the game. But he's resilient. He's in there. He's rebought for another $100,000.
23 total.
And he's not going to let that one pot affect him. He comes in with a raise.
And Mattisau going to call.
Well, defending with a deuce 5 of diamonds, but he is in position.
3, jack, ace.
Well, not much there for either player. Mattisau with the gut shot straight draw. Cunningham with the best hand right now with king high.
Cool.
And it goes bet Cunningham, call Mattisau.
3,000.
This is the power of position right now, what we're seeing.
Pot is now $7,900. Turn is to 7 of clubs.
Check.
And Cunningham's got to shut down. Is Mattisau going to take the pot away right here and now?
He's got to. He's got deuce 5. He called the flop to try to take it away right here on the turn. He's got to bet around 5. No, actually more like 7 or 8,000 here. Try to price out.
6, 5.
Good bet by Mike Mattisau with position.
And Alan Cunningham going to muck. And you know, for a second, I almost feel bad for Alan Cunningham. And then I look down at my sheet, and I remind myself that Alan Cunningham has $10,386,000 in tournament winnings. He's 7th on the all-time money list. He's a 5-time World Series of Poker bracelet winner. I'm not going to feel bad for this guy.
To be a high-stakes, a really good high-stakes cash game player, you not only have to have a lot of patience and discipline, you really have to know the game well. You have to be an excellent player. You have to be able to be mentally strong enough to constantly use what you know at the table and never slack off and you know, make a play that you know isn't right. This time you're going to make it. You really have to be strong the whole way through. You know, poker is just really it's a fun game. It's gambling. I don't feel like there are really many heroes to be had. I'm going to say I'm my poker hero. Why not?
I'm trying to make 5,000 on against Superstar over here, thinking you had a deuce 3 of spades.
Mike Mattisau continuing to make
Well, it's just hilarious because that's exactly what he had, is deuce 3 of spades.
I mean, he's claiming the exact hand that he's had that he didn't have.
I'm laying it 2 to 1. Tell me how much you're betting.
Well, this is better than deuce 3 of spades. How about ace queen of spades?
2, 1.
That's a little more like it.
Cool.
And the
Mooley
Frenchman.
Going to call with the suited king.
Cool.
And Alan's going to play as well with the ace-jack off. Now remember, we're 5-handed. A couple of big hands out there, ace-queen and ace-jack. Mattisau gets out of the way. Antonius gets out of the way. And you can see the percentages. Pot is $7,800.
About ace-king deuce. Wouldn't that be interesting?
Ace, 8, 9.
Oh, wow. How about ace 9-8 all hearts? Feldman with a pair of aces, queen kicker. Cunningham with a pair of aces, jack kicker. He also has the jack of hearts. Mooley with the nut flush.
Wow.
Wow is exactly right.
3, 6.
You know, that's actually a very suspicious bet by Mooley there. He underbet the pot for the first time all day.
Well, he bet like half the pot, which, yeah, it has to raise your eyebrow.
Cool.
Oh, it didn't raise Alan Cunningham's. He flat called. It's actually a tough call for Feldman.
Well, Feldman, you know what? Feldman's looking at it going, you know what? I've got a bet and a call. I might have top pair, but I've got no way to improve my hand. I'm getting rid of it.
That also gives Alan Cunningham a straight draw now on the turn.
Yeah, 10 would give him a straight. Any heart gives him the jack high flush. Well, actually the ace jack high flush. But he is drawing dead. He cannot win this pot unless somehow he gets Mooley to fold his hand.
You know, if Mooley checks here, Cunningham might bet this pot.
19. 19.
Well, now he overbets the pot.
We
He
knew that was-
underbetted on the flop. Now he overbets it.
We knew that had to be coming. He's always going to overbet the pots.
Okay, Robert. What do you do now if you're in Alan Cunningham's spot? You've got top pair. You've got the jack of hearts. Mooley.
And a gut shot straight draw.
I mean, Mooley.
I'm thinking back on that flop bet. That's the only thing that might keep me from calling this bet is uncharacteristically Mooley bet half the pot to begin with.
Well, it's $19,000. The pot is $34,000.
I don't think Alan Cunningham would move all in here, but he might be considering that. 70 more. Calls the 1953. He's got enough leverage, actually.
I mean, you start looking at the flop, and you look at your hand. And
I'm telling you, the flop bet is what cost Mooley that pot. His little bitty bet on the flop cost him from getting a caller just now.
A great read by Alan Cunningham. I mean, I don't care how much money he's down, but there's no question he's one of the best in the world.
That was a great laydown. Tough to lay down, especially when you're stuck 200,000. You're looking to gamble.
Full tilt poker.net $1 million cash game, 5-handed. Buttons in front of the mouth.
Two 9.
Mooley raises it up to 2,900. This is not a straddled pot. Get a call from Cunningham.
Pass.
Mattisau throws away ace-10 suited.
Wow.
In position on the button.
That's extremely tight.
I mean, I understand throwing it away because Cunningham's in there. But the original raiser is Mooley. I mean, isn't that the player you want to get mixed up with?
Absolutely. No, I don't understand that fold on the button by Mike Mattisau. Especially when he's got Mooley covered.
Play my cards back out of the muck, please.
Well, Feldman with 220,000 in front of him.
Ooh, we could be considering a squeeze play here.
Oh.
Nope, just a flat call.
Well, I think with Mooley at the table, is the squeeze play taken out? Because I think Mooley is calling. He's here to gamble.
Yeah. He's called a lot of raises, that's for sure.
Well, we're seeing it 4 ways.
Queen.
And, I mean, the best hand, by the way, is not playing. It's the ace-10.
Check.
Well, the flop misses everybody. Queen 4-4.
Check.
And this is one of those, whoever bets it is probably going to take it down. And it checks around. Here's the turn. Turns another 4. Well, if you're Andrew Feldman, do you ever think maybe my ace-high is good right now?
You know, if I'm Andrew Feldman, I might lead at this pot if it's checked to me. But only if it's checked to me.
Well, I mean, Patrick Antonius' first act, he's going to bet. And Antonius is not going to give him the chance to steal it.
He leads what looks to be around 7,000.
Good eyes on you there, Robert.
It's a tough spot to lead into. The other
The
players.
impressive thing, even more impressive than that bet,
Pass.
is that you can tell that's Steph 7,000, and you're wearing sunglasses in the commentary booth. Well, the bet does get through. Patrick Antonius takes it down, and the aggressive play from Patrick Antonius had 5 high. Couldn't beat the board.
To the aggressor goes the spoils.
There's Cyril Mooley. And there he is for real.
2.
And we are in the heart of London. It's the Full Tilt Poker.net $1 million cash game. About $1.5 million on the table right now. Some of the biggest names have played in this game already. And some big names still in the game.
Cool. Pass.
A flat call with king-queen suited for Mike the Mouth.
Pass.
Well, a couple of real hands out there. Cunningham with 10s.
Cool.
Oh, and the singing group hand, Jackson 5. Does that count as a real hand? It's a name hand.
9, ace, 4.
Well, pocket tens still in the lead. But when you have pocket tens and you see two people call and you see an ace out there.
Check.
You know, actually, if Alan Cunningham checks this, if I'm Mike Manasso, I bet that right there.
King.
Well, he doesn't bet it. He takes the free card. And
Oh,
he
and he
gets
gets
his, he hits on the turn here. He hits his king.
Check. Check.
Ace, 9, 4, king.
Now that I hit my king, I am going to check.
9.
And he checks it one more time. The river's a 9 of clubs.
Now I got to value bet.
Oh, I think you're crazy if you don't value bet.
Something. Got to bet a little something.
I mean, he's got kings and 9s with an ace kicker. Are you kidding me?
King.
We're going to call him Mike the Conservative instead of Mike the Mouth. Wow.
I don't think anyone's calling.
Action on the mouth. The mouth up $104,000.
That'll get him to talking for sure.
You'd think. But it's
Yeah.
been somewhat quiet, especially for him.
You know, I think he folded that ace just now more out of respect for Antonius calling behind him so much.
A little gun shy now, maybe with Patrick Antonius behind him.
Pass.
Well, Mooley doesn't need an excuse to put chips in the pot. And he's going to raise this one up. Alan Cunningham going to call. Alan Cunningham, by the way, only with $83,000 behind.
It sounds strange you saying only and then 83,000 afterwards.
Right.
8, king, jack.
Wow, it's a pretty big flop for Cunningham.
Open in straight draw, but Cyril Mooley still has the best hand right now, ace high.
Yeah, Cunningham a slight favorite to win, though, at showdown if it goes to showdown.
6, 5.
Cunningham, by the way, also has the queen of clubs. I know it doesn't add much.
That does add a couple percentage points to his chances of winning this pot. I'd be surprised if we don't see a raise from Cunningham here. Looks like a hand that he might want to gamble with. Well, what do I know?
Well, he might raise on the turn. We'll see.
Maybe
pot is now
he might bet on the turn.
Yeah, pot is now 21,400. If ace comes off, that could be an action card. Let's see what happens. And a turn is the 5 of diamonds. Doesn't change much. Mooley was already ahead with ace high. That just gives him a pair of 5s. Cunningham needs to catch an ace, a 9, a queen, or a 10 to win this one. Still has a 30% chance of winning the pot. $21,400.
16.
16,000 into a $21,000 pot. Once again, he chose to underbet it. It looks suspicious. He might only call here. I think he would have pushed if he bets a little bigger. I think he might have pushed, but I think he might just flat call now.
I'm beginning to think there's no rhyme or reason to the way Mooley bets.
There's probably a little reason to his madness. If Alan pushes right here, a really tough spot for Mooley.
Well, he is going to push.
69 total.
And he makes it 69,000 total. I don't think Mooley can call this.
I'd be very, very impressed if he makes this call.
Well, I mean, it's a very draw-heavy board. I mean, you start looking at the draws out there. 9, 10, queen 10, clubs. But you know what? Mooley going to pick a better spot. And Alan Cunningham
took it away from him.
Well, the poker stud finally wins a pot. Good for him.
And he played the hand extremely well. You have to give Alan a lot of credit there. He played that hand extremely well.
And Alan Cunningham wins that pot, still down $189,000. Andrew Feldman now, he is up $17,400. But our big winner so far, Patrick Antonius, up over $200,000. Eight-handed, seven-handed, six-handed, five-handed. We're now playing four-handed. We're talking about short-handed. Blind still $300, $600 with a $100 ante. How does the game change when we're this short-handed?
Those blinds come around awful quick. These players have to play more and more aggressive, and I think this style normally looks like it fits Cyril Mooley's type of play. But never know, Mike Manasso might wake up now that he doesn't have Patrick Antonius leaning on him on his left.
Well, we've got a raise here from Feldman with the ace-king suited. Cyril Mooley's going to call it the 8-5 suited. Mike Matusow is going to call it the 6-5 suited. And it's an interesting flop right out of the gate. Andrew Feldman is flop top pair, top kicker. Mike Matusow with the flush draw. Really interesting flop. Pot is $7,500.
I think he'll bet about 5,000 here. He wants some callers.
4,500.
And he bets 4,500. You imagine Mooley's going to get out of the way. And he does.
I think Mike Matusow just about has to call here. I don't like a re-raise, but I do like a call.
Cool.
And he is going to call. Pot now $16,500. Here's the turn. Turn is the king of clubs. Top two pair for Andrew Feldman. Doesn't really change much for him, though. Mike Matusow looking for a spade and only a spade.
Feldman needs to bet about 10 or 12,000 just to punish Mike Matusow if he's got a weak ace or a flush draw. I think he knows that, so he'll probably bet something in that range.
He's definitely going to bet something. It looks like about 12,500, maybe 13,000. Oh, it's 11,200.
It's right between 11 and 12.
And Matusow going to get rid of it. And Feldman shows top two.
Yeah, I don't know if I like that show or not. I just think that playing four-handed, giving any information to your opponents, especially at the level that they're playing at, is bad news. But other than that, well played by Feldman.
I was hoping a mic blow-up was on its way.
Just to know, like, if Patrick or Tom Dwan had my hand, you might have won a big pot there.
Hi, I'm Andrew Feldman. I won the UK Open 4 in 2007 for $250,000, and I'm a sponsored Full Tilt Pro. I realised I had what it takes to bet at the top level when I started to make in a day what I was in a year at my local supermarket. When I realised that there was a huge amount of money for me to make, then I knew I had talent to progress to the very top. For me, it's all about your real analytical approach to the game and your gut instinct, and it's sort of a natural talent. You've either got it or you don't.
He really went for his now.
And the one constant among all good poker players is you have to constantly adapt to different situations. And I was about to ask you how these players are going to adapt to a four-handed game, but it's not four-handed anymore because Patrick Antonius has rejoined the table.
Well, the chameleon himself just sat back down. That's Patrick Antonius.
Thanks.
Cool.
Wow.
Ace King again.
I love it, though. He's giving Cyril Mooley some rope to hang himself. I love the fact that he just flat called there.
3,300 more.
I don't know if he should re-raise or not, though. It's hard to say. I would be tempted to re-raise here, though.
I mean, he's out of position with Ace King. I mean,
well, he can feign weakness on this pot if he does just flat call here.
pot is 5,100.
I think he's going to re-raise, though.
Remember, we're four-handed. I mean, even though Patrick is sitting at the table, he was not actually in this hand.
Raise.
And he is going to re-raise this.
An over-raise. Wow. He's pulling a Mooley on Mooley. Looked like he raised it about another
14,
13,
I think
14.
you've coined a poker phrase. He's pulled a Mooley.
He's pulled a Mooley. He overbet the pot.
Now, if Mooley calls this,
more.
it can be tough. Now, Ace-King out of position. If you don't flop an ace or a king,
there you go.
Oh, cool.
And Mooley calls it.
Wow. Mooley makes a big call here. In position, though.
Well, his cards are live. Let's see the flop.
Flop comes 3, queen, 5.
Queen 5-3. Couple of hearts out there.
Now it's kind of a tough one for Andrew Feldman. He's out of position. He's got a ton of money already in this pot.
21. Bet 21,000.
Nice continuation bet, though, by Andrew Feldman.
Well, I think once you re-raise and you're out of position, you have to put that C bet out there, don't you?
I agree completely with that. Only problem is Mooley's probably the only maybe one other player, maybe Patrick Antonius, is capable of re-raising right here if he suspects that Feldman is on ace-king.
Well, Morley has not folded.
Raise.
And he's announced raise.
Look at this. What a play. Well, you know what? The Frenchman, he is no stranger to high-stakes poker, like we said earlier. He plays the big game at the Bellagio. It's a $21,000 bet from Feldman. Morley has re-raised this. An additional $59,000.
This is a tough spot for Andrew Feldman. It looks like that Morley is pot committed, and he really realistically could have a middle pair.
I mean, Morley could have top pair.
He could have the queen, absolutely.
I mean, he could have a flush draw. There's a million things that Morley could have here. I mean, his range is...
This was the danger of that pre-flop re-raise by Feldman.
Oh, it's an unbelievable hand. Pot is $137,000. It's $59,000 to Feldman to call. Feldman, all he has is ace-king high. Now, he does have the ace of hearts. Does that change anything?
A little bit. It does add a little bit because he not only has a backdoor draw, but he cuts off the nut flush draw.
Now, if he doesn't think his opponent could have the nut flush draw, well, I was going to ask you, makes it more likely his opponent has because he has a hand. But either way, I mean, very, very difficult for Feldman to continue on, and Morley wins in huge pot.
Well played by Morley.
I mean, sometimes it just takes the guts to go for it, huh?
You bluffer.
Sometimes you just got to say, what the heck?